Some parts of this video uses AI. The message, however, is most real, and the analysis human, just like you.
To VERS or not to VERS, that is the question. What HDB owners must watch out for.
What you are seeing are some of the oldest HDB blocks in Singapore. In the decades ahead, their 99-year leases will gradually run down to zero, and the flats will eventually be returned to HDB. The government has introduced a possible solution, the Voluntary Early Redevelopment Scheme. But an important question remains. Will that solution work for residents and their future plans?
Therefore, if we do not plan ahead, 99 years later, all the leases in such towns will expire around the same time and then will be returned to the state within a few years, and we'll have to find new homes for a lot of people at once, and HDB will have to tear down and rebuild all the old flats in a hurry. I think we should redevelop our old towns over 20 to 30 years, rather than within 4 to 5 years. We will need a new scheme for this. I will call it VERS. Voluntary Early Redevelopment Scheme.
As you can see, VERS serves a very specific purpose: to enable the orderly redevelopment of older flats before their leases expire. This helps prevent a situation where many aging estates reach the end of their leases at the same time, creating pressure for large-scale redevelopment all at once. For VERS to be successful, several key conditions must first be met. Let's hear what some residents have to say.
很不舍得，因为我父母的买给我们的嘛，所以他现在 pass 给我们嘛。
如果是已经是很老壳的，怎么样？你怎么办？哎呀，老实讲了，可能到时我就看不见了咯，还想这么多，这么长远做什么？对吧？哎，不要了，都差不多要走了啦，还要搬，不要了赔偿金。如果是给一间新的屋子，还可能考虑了。当然是要我们自己喜欢哦，太远我们哪里要，对吗？
Look at the right side of this slide. First, VERS is voluntary, not compulsory. This means at least 80% consensus must be achieved among residents. There will also be a collective decision-making process involving voting at multiple stages, leading eventually to a government buyback of the flats. As you can see, this is unlikely to be as straightforward. Another issue that has raised concern among residents is compensation. Let's look at what recent news reports have highlighted.
First, they are going to select flats that are much older. That means maybe 70 years. So because of the age of the flat, we do expect the payout, that means the compensation that owners are going to receive, will be much less.
Ask how the VERS package would differ from the Selective On-Block Redevelopment Scheme, or SERS package. We had explained previously that VERS and SERS have different objectives. SERS is for selected precincts with high redevelopment potential, unlocked through compulsory acquisition. In contrast, VERS is to space out the redevelopment of older towns over time, and it will be voluntary in nature. Flats offered VERS will have shorter remaining leases compared to the flats which were previously offered SERS, so the overall compensation for VERS would be lower compared to SERS. Based on the questions from Mr. Fu and Mr. Loh, I note there is broad agreement from both sides of the House that VERS should not create a lottery effect or end up becoming a wealth-generating program. I agree with these views from both members.
Both are totally different concepts. If you intend to live till your retirement in your block, then it's not an issue. However, if you feel that you want more out of your HDB, use it for your retirement or for upgrading. Then that's where you need to carefully look at all options. Ask for a review that will help you understand your timeline, your assets' true value trajectory, and the strategies that can protect your retirement plans. Your property is one of your biggest financial assets. Don't leave its future to guesswork, to VERS or not to VERS. That decision may shape your future. Plan early. Decide wisely. Secure your future with confidence.
So the real question isn't whether VERS is good or bad. It's whether waiting aligns with your personal timeline and your retirement plans. If you're unsure about your lease balance or your Bloc's outlook, a simple review can provide the clarity you need to move forward.